We're going to talk about how to host people at your CPC house church virtually. People are going to receive an invite to your house church, and someone from your parish leadership meeting should generate a Zoom link and include it in the email. On the day when you receive this email, you should start by joining the Zoom meeting yourself. You can do this by just clicking on the link. You'll be prompted to open Zoom. If you don't have Zoom already, watch our other meeting that tells you how to install and use Zoom. This will launch Zoom. As you can see, this is the real meeting and it hasn't started yet. I'm going to go to a different meeting that has started. When you first come in, you're prompted to select an audio input. Computer audio is almost always correct, so click the blue button. At this point, we're in the meeting, we can communicate with others, and we have all the standard features of Zoom available. Mute, stop video, and chat. Chat's going to be the important one for us here, because we're going to be in charge of interacting with people and helping them throughout the service. In the chat, we're going to need to share a link so that other people can stream in sync with us. The structure of our meeting is going to be that we start by welcoming everybody at the in-person location and remotely. You can do this all at the same time by just pointing the computer at the person who's addressing the group. We're then going to watch the service together, and there's a service that online that will allow us to watch a YouTube video in sync with one another. This is important because at the end of the service, we're going to be having some group discussion. The person who's emceeing or welcoming should also ask a question at the end about the sermon that we can all discuss. And people who are remote are going to engage too. They can only do that if they've watched it at the sermon at the same time as us and are available to chat at the same time as us. There's a little bit of preparation involved in this. I'm going to show you how to do this. So the first step is to go to YouTube and search for Central Peninsula Church. Don't search for CPC, there's too many CPCs around. But if you search for Central Peninsula Church, you'll come up with our church, and you'll know it by our icon. Click on our church's page, and then find the link to the Sunday service. Once you've opened the video, we're not going to play it in YouTube, we're just going to get the link. Then we can come over and find our Watch Together service. So we'll go to google.com and we'll just search for Watch Together. The URL is w2g.tv. You can see this entry has that URL. So we'll click on this one. We're going to create a room. The idea is that we're going to give this service the URL to our YouTube video, and then it's going to give us a Watch Together URL, and anybody that goes to our Watch Together URL will be able to play the YouTube video at the exact same place that we're watching it. If we play or pause, if we skip ahead, all of those things happen on other people's computers too. So let's grab the Watch Together link. If you missed that, you hit the Invite Friends button, and in yellow at the top, hit the Copy button, and now that's available for you to paste into the Zoom chat. So let's come back to Zoom. We'll paste it in here. That's Control V on a PC and Command V on a Mac. We'll just share it in there. And you'll see that it's a clickable link. So anybody now that joins the Zoom meeting, you can tell them to open the chat and click the link. The person welcoming should mention that as well. Make sure to keep the chat open in case people ask questions throughout. At this point, you're prepared, and now it's time to connect the computer to the TV so that people in person can see the Watch Together page as well. To connect your computer, there's a couple of steps to it. First, we need to get our HDMI cable and connect it to the back of the TV. This is what they look like. That's the kind of port that they go in. You connect it. Make sure it's tight. You can give it a little wiggle at the end. Once you've got it plugged in to the TV, you can then plug it into your computer. That's the other end of the HDMI cable. You'll notice that not all computers can take a HDMI cable, so get an adapter if you need. Make sure to try this out ahead of time, just so that you bring everything you need. So now the HDMI cable is connected to the computer and to the TV. So now we can turn on the TV and make sure that it's we've selected the right input. If we go back to the television, you'll notice there's a white label here. That has a number on it. That's the number you should try and select, HDMI 1 in our case. Once the TV's on the right input, bear in mind most modern TVs and modern computers will automatically switch this over for you, so you don't really need to worry about it. But if it doesn't happen automatically, just take note of that number and select the right one with your remote. Once it's all connected, it should automatically set up mirroring. You can see that if you do something on your computer, it'll also happen on the TV. If that doesn't happen, you can also use this selector, the screen selector, to select mirroring. Or if you don't like mirroring, you can also do what's called presenting, where you get two independent screens and different things happen on each. That gives you the flexibility of using one computer, and you can talk to people on the Zoom while watching something on the TV. Once we're all connected and we're ready to go, I would encourage you to come to Watch Together link and skip ahead to when the sermon's about to start. There's 10 minutes in front of every video of just music. Then wait for the start of the service, and then have your host welcome people. Again, remember to have them remind people to click the Watch Together link and not go to CPC Live or to YouTube directly. This gives us a chance to discuss at the end. You can then come to Watch Together. You can play it, and I would encourage you to do full screen. You can hit the cog and then hit the this square button. We'll just say so-and-so is in the waiting room. Would you like to let them join? And you can approve that there. Watch for those. People will join late. People will join all the way through the service. So keep an eye on that. People will also ask you questions in the chat. Keep an eye out for that as well. At the end of the service, we're going to ask questions. Reiterate, or have the host reiterate, that people shouldn't leave the Zoom meeting yet, and that remote people are encouraged to join. At this point, you should be, you can close Watch Together, and you can focus on the Zoom meeting. Engaging with people, I would encourage you to type out the question in the chat so that people can read it and think about it. And then when someone has something to say they want to share, help them engage with the wider group by putting your hand up or flagging that someone has something to say. Make sure that the audio's turned up high enough for them to hear. It might be a good idea to disconnect from the TV during this time and move the computer around, because your computer has a microphone in it, and if your computers are also connected to the TV, you can't get the microphone in front of the speakers, otherwise you'll get bad feedback and it'll be unpleasant for everybody. So I encourage you through the whole time, keep it behind the TV speakers. Once people have been able to discuss and engage with one another, have the host dismiss everybody and make it clear that this is the time to hang up on the call. At this point, you can hit the end button and leave the meeting or end for all if you're the host. And that should be it. The only thing that you might want to consider is if you want to have two computers, it might be good to have one that's presenting on the TV and one that's in the Zoom meeting. It can sometimes be hard, especially if something goes wrong, to engage with the Zoom meeting and streaming at the same time. Although it is very possible. So that should be all you need to know. There are other videos about Zoom if you need to figure out how to use Zoom for the first time, or if you don't have someone on the leadership team who's making Zoom links for you, please reach out and we can show you the process of doing that so that you can embed it in your parish invite email. Hopefully that was helpful. We're always here to help, and hopefully we'll all be able to worship together in a much more productive way now. Thanks for your time.